On today's show, we will have an in-depth conversation with business icon and shark Robert Herjavec, who shares the #1 secret to promoting yourself and your business to achieve success. We will hear from the legendary Michael Phelps, who teaches us the strategy to win gold in our own lives. We will travel to one of the world's most beautiful luxury destinations and hear from music icon Kenny Loggins, who shares how we can pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. Welcome to In the Spotlight. How would you like to learn the #1 secret to success from one of our most highly respected business icons of our time? Our next guest started from very humble beginnings to become one of our most popular and successful entrepreneurs. So please welcome the star of the Emmy-winning show Shark Tank, Robert Herjavec.
Everybody wants success, but very few people are willing to pay the price. And you know why? Because it's really hard.
Are entrepreneurs born or are they made?
Everything I know about sales, I've done wrong, I got burnt, and I had to recover. Now I know how to do it. So I came to Canada when I was 8 with my mom and dad and one suitcase, and it really is up to you to make the most of it.
When he's not on Shark Tank, the multimillionaire runs a successful IT security company.
Innovators create value that people didn't know existed. The technology world reinvents itself every 3 years. I love that. I love that about it. The world is such an amazing place that you have the ability to create something from nothing. Work hard, have fun, and dream big.
How are you? Thank you.
So much.
Woo! Welcome.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, what a great crowd.
We are so excited
Incredible.
that you're here. They heard you were coming, so
Yeah.
they really wanted to get a chance and did not want to miss you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
What a thrill
This is
for
great.
everybody. Yeah, really
Wow.
great. So, I mean, there's so many questions. And I know you've talked about this somewhat in the press. Maybe you could just share, you come from really humble beginnings, right? And a little bit about your life growing up in Croatia and then how you ended up here in America.
Yeah, you know, it's incredible when you think back how all the dots connect and anything that's possible. If you guys saw that video, that house in the back behind the horse, it's a horse barn. But that was the house that my grandmother raised me in. It's dirt floors, the whole 9 yards. And we started off like so many other immigrants with nothing. The funny thing is, rich or poor is a state of mind. I grew up in a little tiny village where everybody lived like we lived, dirt floors, no running water, outhouse. I mean, it's incredible. But I didn't know I was poor until I came to North America. And then somebody said to me, "You're poor."
Interesting.
And it really affected me because it's all about how you start and how you compare to others. And the reality is, in this country, you have to make a certain amount of money to take care of the people that you love. You don't have to want to buy a jet or a fancy car. There's nothing wrong with any of that, but you have to make a certain amount of money. And I realized that really early is you got to go. You got to start a business. You got to invest in real estate. You got to find a way to get ahead.
And how did you know that area was where you wanted to put your time? What inspired you to go into what you're doing now?
I did everything else and I failed.
Okay.
And people are so afraid to start something because they're afraid they're going to fail. And I think the biggest thing that holds people back is failure. I was lucky that I wasn't good at a lot of stuff. So I pretty quickly learned the things I wasn't good at, and I just kept going. And the challenge was I didn't know what to do, and everybody said to me, in order to start a business, there's 2 things you need. It's not what you know, it's
Oh, you know.
And in order to make money, what do you have to have? Money. And so my dad swept floors in a factory. My mom was a receptionist, and we didn't know anybody. Like the most successful person I had ever met until I was in my mid-20s was the guy who worked with my dad in a factory who had more seniority than my dad. And so if there was a layoff at the factory, that guy would keep his job and my dad would lose his job. So when you come from an environment like that, how do you get ahead? You got to keep trying. You got to expand your mind. And so I knew there had to be a better way.
More success strategies from Robert when we return. We'll be right back.
I wanna build you up, I wanna make you strong.
Those of us who play the game know that there is this intrinsic relationship between the challenges of the game and life itself.
In the process of teaching young people about a fun activity that requires hard work, dedication, some skill, we're teaching them that the attributes that make them a better golfer are the same attributes that are used to make a good soldier, a good doctor, a good teacher, a good parent, a good citizen, a good person.
The National School Program has really allowed the First Tee to have a broader and deeper impact on our society.
Every single one of our 13,000 elementary children are being touched in a very positive way, and their schooling is being changed for the better.
How do you get ahead? You got to keep trying. You got to expand your mind. And so I knew there had to be a better way.
Thank you so much for sharing this. Does that inspire you to hear that? I know. Because I think people see you and they see you on the show and they forget you just, had this process of growing up and becoming successful. Like you weren't born into it. Maybe you could share with them what makes a memorable pitch, a good pitch, because they're all going to be basically doing that to promote themselves.
Yeah, that's great. The big thing, and I think this is an immigrant thing, is, when you come here from somewhere else or your parents are immigrants, you always have this chip on your shoulder about wanting to fit in or not being good enough. And what I learned a long time ago is you have to have enough confidence in yourself to sell yourself. Nobody is going to believe in your product, in your business, until they believe in you. And the key to a great pitch is you. Before you sell me your idea, before you sell me on how this thing you've invented that nobody in the history of humanity has ever invented, sell me on you. Because if I don't want to invest in you, I don't want to invest in your product. And that's the thing, when people come on Shark Tank, within the first 2 minutes, 50% of the time we've already made up our mind. And it's how you walk out, the tone of your voice, all those kind of things. And people always think if you're great at what you do, somebody will find you. If you're just great at what you do and you just keep working at it, the world is going to find you. And I got to tell you, that is absolute crap. Nobody is going to find you. You've got to tell the world why you're different. You've got to tell the world why you're worth being invested in and why you're going to do great things. And I got to tell you, that's really hard because it's hard to sit up here. It's hard to have that confidence. But here's the great thing. You can learn it.
Welcome to Verde Canyon Railroad, Arizona's longest-running nature show. Enjoy style and comfort through SEDONA's rugged red rocks in one of our vintage rail cars. You also have a second seat on an open-air viewing car for the perfect photo op. Experience the scenery and wildlife of the Verde Canyon. Majestic bald eagles even call the canyon their home. The Verde Canyon Railroad has helped create lifelong memories for all its passengers. Book your ride today.
And so how do you get ahead? Is you got to get more knowledge. It really is an art, and the more knowledge you can get, on a very specific area, it really helps.
Isn't it incredible that you will take your time to come here and pay it forward to people who have a desire to change their lives? That, you know, they're a few steps behind where you are, and you come from, like you say, not a successful family, and yet have been able to go out. And you know how they say success changes people? And what's nice?
No, you know what? Money amplifies who you were before you had any money.
Right.
So if you were a mean, miserable SOB and you kicked your dog every day, when you make a lot of money, guess what you're going to be? A mean, miserable SOB.
Right.
It's not getting the money that is the goal. It's changing yourself into a weapon and a tool that can create success. If you can do that and change your life, the money will find you.
Thank you. Thank you. I know. Okay, so we have one final question, and it is, what is the best way to grow when your marketing exceeds your company's capabilities?
I'm a big believer, sell it and grow into it. You know, sales cures all ills. So I think if you have enough confidence in yourself and your abilities to build a team, I think you can grow into it. And I think I have no issue with marketing something that I can't quite do today. I would never lie, but if I know if I get that deal, I'm gonna have to go out and hire 3 people, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. It is better to sell it first and build it later.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts that you want to share before we go?
Thank you. Wow. You guys are here. I mean, congratulations to everybody in this place.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
And thank you to you so much for everything. I mean, how many of you guys are so grateful you were here to listen to him today? I know. So
thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Coming up next, the legendary Michael Phelps shares the strategy he used to become the most decorated Olympian of all time. Stay with us.
Predator Zip Lines, a high-flying 2-hour adventure that takes you over the grandeur of Out of Africa Wildlife Park. With 7 towers in total, you won't just fly, you'll soar over breathtaking views while learning about the majestic animals below as your guide educates and entertains you during your tour. Experience the wind ripping through your hair on a thrill ride over nature's wildest predators. Zip on at Predator Zip Lines.
Coming up next, the legendary Michael Phelps shares the strategy he used to edge out the competition and become the most decorated Olympian of all time. He will share how we can model this strategy to achieve success in our own lives. So let's welcome Michael.
But no problem for Michael Phelps. New world record.
Welcome. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. Everybody's really been looking forward to you being here. You said you did not take not even one day off in 5 years leading up to, is it Athens?
You know, we went 5 years straight, without missing a single day of workout. 365 days a year. That was...
That's amazing.
It was something that, I think that, not everybody or nobody really does. And I was willing to make that sacrifice to achieve a goal that I wanted to achieve. And, I wasn't going to let anything stand in my way. And I was going to be as prepared as I could, when I stepped up on the block at Olympic trials to make my first Olympic team.
I mean, that is unbelievable. Can you just talk a little bit is that something you designed, the two of you designed? How did you come to that game plan in that way?
I think it you know, I guess the idea behind that was, you know, we had 52 other days out of the year than every other swimmer. So, you know, over 5 years, that adds up. So we just thought it was something that was not normal, but we figured we'd try it and see what would happen, and you know, it paid off.
It definitely paid off. And it's a good lesson for everybody, you know, in the room to hear about when you really want to go out and be the best and be a champion.
On the days that you don't want to do it, you still work as hard as the days that you do.
Right.
It's easy on the days that you want to do it. It's super easy. When you're feeling great, and trust me, when I jump in the water and I'm feeling good and not in, you know, in any pain, I feel amazing. But then the next day it's even worse. So I think it's really, you know, how strong your mind is, and I think that's where your mind really comes into it and plays a huge factor, you know, a huge role.
Right, and that's what really separates you from a lot of the other athletes. And, you know, as an athlete, obviously you have to have good time management, and as a business person in every area. So I think the audience would love to hear about how you manage your time, you know, because you've got what you do and then you also have a life. So how do you do that, prioritize things?
It's actually how, you know, I spend a lot of time on the road. I spend a lot of time traveling. You know, right now I'm on a 10-day trip. A lot of times for me where I'm on the road, where I still have to do, you know, what I have to, you know, I still have to train. You know, I still have to, you know, go to the weight room and swim and, you know, do everything, you know, whether it's, you know, with my coach or it's on my own. And, you know, I think that's the biggest thing, and it's the hardest thing, because you're traveling, the time change, you're tired, you know, you're doing things that sometimes wear you down more than others, but you still have to do it. So, you know, I think it's, you know, for me being on the road, one thing I always try to do is I try to get more sleep. Like, that's one thing that I know I have to have, because you know, I'm sort of burning it at both ends. You know, I'm traveling, but I still have to work out. And but also, you know, when I am home, you know, when I'm home and I have my friends, and you know, they all want to do different things, and you know, I know that there are things that I have to say no to. You know, I know there are certain things that, you know, whether it's me staying up late or whatever it is, you know, I have to get up and swim the next morning. Right. So, you know, it's sort of, I do have to balance my time, and those are sacrifices that I make, you know, because I know that if I want to achieve what I want to achieve in the long run, then I have to make those sacrifices. And you know, I've done it my whole life growing up, and you know, I think when you want something bad enough, I think you'll make any sacrifice, you know, no matter what it is, that you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, and you certainly have shown us that. So we have been so excited to have you with us. And I just wanted to finish by asking you, what does it mean to you to represent the United States in this way?
The first thing is, you know, one of the biggest things for me was that I always wanted to do was I wanted to stand on top of the medal podium. I wanted to have a medal around my neck, a gold medal, and I wanted to listen to the national anthem play. You know, being able to you know, stand up there, put my hand over my heart, wear the stars and stripes, you know, and have the support of the whole country. You know, that's something that I dreamt of as a little kid, and I worked as hard as I could my whole life, and finally had that first moment in 2004, my very first race, where I was able to do that. And, you know, I think I probably wasn't as emotional in 2004 as I was in 08. You know, in 2008, I wanted to make sure I really, you know, grabbed every experience and every moment that I could. And I think that's why, you know, you saw tears coming out of my eyes in 2008. You know, it's just because everything that, you know, I went through to get there and finally got there and finally did it. And, you know, I'm representing the best country in the world. And, you know, that was one of the coolest things. And then the other thing...
We can applaud for that, definitely.
I actually had the privilege, we had the privilege as a national team to go and train with the Navy SEALs last year. And it was one of the most brutal days of my entire life. Oh my gosh. through, I mean, I ended up sort of having like a slight concussion from, you know, from doing some of the things, but it was just like, you know, I think one of the coolest things about it was, you know, there were, you know, for the U.S. team, there were a lot of rookies, there were a lot of younger kids who really got to see us all come together as one. And, you know, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, we have to come together as one, and we have to support each other to really, you know, see the final goal. And you know, we all wanted to make it through that day, and we all wanted to push ourselves as hard as we could, but we couldn't have done it without each other. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, one of the SEALs came up to me and said, you know, it was a really honor to meet you. And I said, no. I said, you have no idea how much of an honor it is for us to be here with you guys and to have the opportunity to train with you guys. You know, you guys are the people who are out there who are fighting for our freedom and fighting for our country. And I said, the honor is all mine. And it was, I mean, that was just one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of and ever had the opportunity to do. So, you know, I'm just happy and honored to be a part of this country. I mean, like I said, there's no other country I'd rather be a part of, and we are the best country in the world.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Well, we want to thank you so much with your incredibly busy schedule for coming here, spending the time with us today. Thank you very, very much, Michael. And we are so looking forward to following all the success. All right, you guys, let's thank him so much for being with us today. Thank you very, very much.
What Phelps did is one of the great performances in swimming history and one of the great performances overall in Olympic history at a single Games.
Next, we're going to take you to one of the most beautiful luxury destinations in the world. So welcome to our Traveler TV Spotlight. Today on Traveler TV, we take you to breathtaking Sedona, Arizona. Hi, Kari Michelson here in stunning Red Rock country of northern Arizona. Nestled amid dramatic cliffs and soaring stone towers, Sedona offers a true sense of peace and tranquility that makes this area one of the most sought-after luxury destinations in the world. The Sedona experience starts with its numerous world-class resorts and hotels. Each property brings a unique sophistication to one's travel objective. The culinary culture in the area offers an array of elegant dining destinations and is one of the many reasons guests return time after time. And let's not forget the luxurious spas. Relaxation and rejuvenation are definitely on the agenda when visiting Sedona. Whether receiving an indigenous Northern Arizona spa treatment or a healing session from one of Sedona's many spiritual practitioners, stress relief will be the welcome result. With elevations of over 4,000 feet, the climate here in this area is mild in all 4 beautiful seasons and perfect for the outdoor adventurist. The U.S. Forest Service oversees 400 miles of trails here. Sedona has become one of the top destinations for world-class mountain bikers and hikers. The levels of difficulty range from novice to pro. It's an outdoor seeker's paradise in so many ways. Whether kayaking down the Verde River, swimming in world-famous Oak Creek, or taking in the magnificent Red Rock formations by air in a helicopter tour, lifetime memories are made. The Sedona area proudly features award-winning wineries, each with tasting rooms for everyone to enjoy. Another one of my favorite things to do in the area is take a train ride into the magnificent Verde Canyon. It literally goes into tunnels through Sedona's red rocks. It's a premier opportunity to observe and learn about the natural habitat along the way. The area also has a casino, a wildlife park, and an exciting zip line experience, which certainly gets your heart pumping. Also, events can be explored year-round, including the star-studded Sedona International Film Festival. Now, before you leave, promise me at night you'll just look up. Sedona is a certified dark sky community in which there are fewer than 30 in the world. Seeing the starry skies at night is literally awe-inspiring. And that's just a quick glimpse of why Sedona is one of the world's most special travel destinations. See you next time on Traveler TV. Find Fabulous. Next, Kenny Loggins shares how we can pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. Stay with us. Now we're going to hear from music legend Kenny Loggins, who shares his heart about how we can make a difference in our communities and pay it forward to those experiencing challenging times. So let's hear from Kenny.
Hi, I'm Kenny Loggins. The Unity Shop is now entering its 104th year of community service. It's come a long way since Pearl Chase and her volunteers set up their first Council of Christmas Cheer store on Haley Street. 33 years ago, I met Barbara Tellefson for the first time when she told me about this new concept of giving low-income families the chance to choose the things they actually need. It appealed to me as a parent. It was a safe harbor that the families could rely on for food, clothing, books, and the myriad of basic necessities that can provide them stability. And honestly, that was the kind of thing I'd been hoping to find. One place where I'd know that what I give will do the best for the most people. Today, over 20,000 people are referred to Unity annually by 305 other nonprofit organizations, churches, schools, hospitals, medical and counseling centers. 1,700 children volunteer yearly, learning how to run the distribution facility on Chapala Street, while giving a hand up to their neighbors and learning important job skills. The hope and healing Unity provides not just to these families, but in large part to the entire community, is impossible to quantify.
For the past 3 years, I've been volunteering at the Unity Shop. This has taught me that I can have the power to help my community, even as a young person.
We love working with Unity because there's so many things that they do for the community, and there's so many ways that we can get involved. From the toys program to the free grocery store and food delivery even. You know, everything is done with an eye towards giving somebody dignity and towards giving them what they really need. So we love being a part of that.
It's such a privilege to work alongside the wonderful staff at the Unity Shop. We're always looking for ways that we can give back to our community.
We are glad that we are able to support other families who need them.
The fact that most of the work done here is volunteer-based, it really turns around lives, not just in the sense that it gives people things, but it gives people like a purpose, which I think is really cool.
This place is revolutionary, really. So they really understand what it means to give according to need, and I think it's just super inspiring.
Unity is the only community distribution center of its kind in the county. As you can imagine, the number of people we see each week is multiplying rapidly. We desperately need your help to sustain this humanitarian, loving service to our fellow neighbors. To find out how you can join us, please visit unityshop.org. We're all in this together.
For more information about how you can be a blessing to a family, go to unityshop.org. I want to thank Robert Herjavec, Michael Phelps, and Kenny Loggins. Be kind, be grateful, and let's all tell at least one person how much we appreciate them today. Thanks for watching In the Spotlight.